I've gone back and forth long enough, so this is going to be my final response. Saying that church musicians aren't good enough to be paid is not only disrespectful, it's wildly inaccurate. See, you clearly haven't played in churches that expect spontaneous key changes, seamless transitions, memorized arrangements, or just learning songs on the spot. Because if you did, you'd know that it's not hobbyist level work. Number two,
Let me speak to that because that's all facts, no printer. Like, I say this all the time that musicians, church musicians specifically, you guys got superpowers that you don't even realize that you have. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you can, you don't understand. And like I said, if you have not been in music ministry and understood what it takes, especially when you're dealing with like specific types of worship leaders, specific types, I'm generalizing this specific, and you know what I'm saying in your mind if you've been in this game, specific types of worship leaders and this, they will send you a set list. They will put it in planning center. You will rehearse that music. You will learn it. You will create tracks to it. You will create stems to it. You will have it all locked and loaded, ready to go. Got your Ableton session loaded up, you know what I'm saying, on the computer, and you rehearse the songs with them. Y'all killed it in rehearsal. You will walk into church on that Sunday morning at like 7:45. Service starts at 8, and the worship leader will come up to you and say, "Hey, hey, John, I know we practiced over such and such yesterday, but I feel like I woke up this morning and God is telling me that we need to do Alabaster Box by CC Winans." And you like, oh my God. And you picked up, threw an AirPod in your ear really quick and listened to that song 5 minutes before service, learned it without even touching the keys. You didn't even touch the keys, you just listened to it, and then got on the keys. Then they opened up their mouth and they started singing Alabaster, the Bastard Box, and you killed it. That is a superpower, and that is what some of the stuff that we deal with. And then not only limiting that down to just that sort of stuff, but just what it takes to deal with people sometimes in music ministry. I say this all the time that music ministry is 10% music and it's 90% dealing with people. If you can handle the 90, the 10 is going to be easy. And so it is not for the faint of heart. And I would challenge anyone who has a problem with kind of like what he's saying, a person that has a problem that thinks the way that he's talking, the type of person that he's talking to step into the shoes of a person of a church musician just for a day and understand what it feels like to have to like deal with all of the things that you deal with, still maintain your family. You know what I mean? Still, you're underpaid, so you're still trying to figure out how to get the bag in other ways. You know what I mean? So you can maintain this because this is the thing that God called you to. So you're trying to like do it, full time and not like compromise your gift. There's people that think, I was one of those people that thought like that for the longest and still think like that. I don't want to compromise my gift. I don't want to like do something or attach myself to something that I don't believe in. That doesn't mean that like playing secular music or doing anything like any other genre other than gospel is bad, because it's not. It's just me personally. I just determined a long time ago that like I don't think I want to do that. If I don't believe in the message, I don't want to connect myself to it. So there's nothing wrong with that. But let's let this brother cook. I'm sorry. That struck a nerve real quick.
isn't about stroking somebody's ego, it's about sustainability. People who get paid for services that they provide, period. And if the church values musical excellence so much that it demands rehearsals, punctuality, professionalism, and spiritual sensitivity, then honoring that label isn't greed. That is integrity. You think payment prevents burnout. Well, it's not entirely, all right? But it sure helps. You know what doesn't help? What doesn't help is being overused, underappreciated, and then shame for asking to be treated like your role actually matters. Nobody's asking for a handout. I'm asking for churches to stop expecting platinum level performances and offering leftover respect. And if my message bothers you, well, maybe it's hitting too close to a truth you don't want to face. So, no, I'm not in the wrong for making these videos. I'm in the room saying what thousands of musicians have whispered for decades. You can disagree if you want, but don't confuse your comfort with my conviction.
I think that's a fire take. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's saying. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't think people understand. the other side of it. But I'm an advocate for, as musicians, um, to find those other outlets, those other things. Don't never over leverage yourself in one space. You know what I'm saying? Never over leverage yourself just in the church world, playing for one church, doing this thing, putting everything you got into this one space. Figure out other ways that you can generate revenue, because again, it's cost a lot to live nowadays. Not just rent, not just, utilities, not just the price of eggs and all of those things like that everybody rants about, but it cost, what I'm saying, like, to just have the essentials and be able to take care of your family, leave a legacy, get some health insurance, get some life insurance, so we don't have to do a GoFundMe when it's time to bury you. Like, those things are important and they cost money. And so you need to, as he's talks about, respect the craft. You need to respect the craft, even in yourself. Respect yourself in that. Figure out ways that you can generate some other revenue, whether it's, doing content, or, doing, like, a podcast, or, some type of way that you can generate revenue. There are a bajillion different ways. I talk about it all the time on Patreon, ways that I'm generating wealth, how I've built my companies, how I've done all of those things like that. I share all that stuff on Patreon. You can get the link down in the description, but it's just, that's just the way it kind of rolls. And you have to respect your craft enough to do that sort of thing. So that's kind of my take on it. You all, want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. First of all, thank you for watching to the end. If you made it to the end, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, drop a comment, and let me know what you think about everything that I've talked about. And make sure you check out the Patreon link down below. Hop over there for some exclusive content. All right, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.